Hello and welcome to another edition of Toys from the Attic. Keeping up with the theme for this month, I thought we'd be taking a look at the Power Rangers Legacy Dragonzord. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at this guy. Rising from the ocean and piloted by the Green Ranger, the Dragonzord is their sixth Zord in their arsenal against fighting evil. A powerful force on its own, it could transform into the Dragonzord Battle Mode by merging with Triceratops, Saber-Tooth Tiger, or Mastodon, or attach to the Megazord itself, forming the Mega Dragonzord. Alright, so here we have a look at the Power Rangers Legacy Dragonzord. I'm going to try to get this guy all in frame, but he's kind of a big figure, so it's probably going to be a lot of close-up shots. Now, pardon my language, but this guy is damn impressive, and I hope you can see why. I hope it comes across on the camera, but just look at all that detail on him, especially in the paintwork. Just those fine lines right in there, especially on the neck and in the chest. Those lines are pretty crisp. No little paint smudges or wayward brush strokes. So, yeah, I fell in love with this guy instantly just from the overall beauty of him, and he has a good heft to him too. There's a lot of nice die-cast parts and metal to him in all the right spots. The hips right here are nice metal. The shoulders have a nice cold metallic feel to them, and even the ankles and feet give him a nice balance. So he's always going to be bottom heavy. You're not going to really have him falling over anytime soon. I think even the chest right here has a little bit of metallic pieces to it. Now, he doesn't light up like the original Dragonzord does, but that's okay. I mean, the trade-off with the articulation for this guy is definitely well worth it. I mean, he has everything that the original Dragonzord didn't, but I wanted to have. His arms can move up and down. He has a nice wrist articulation, so you can move them side to side. His jaw can still move up and down, but you kind of see the face of the Mega Dragonzord down there. His legs can move up and down, and he has a little bit of ankle articulation. And his tail can move. It just snakes around, and it's on these nice ball socket joints. I just can't get over how well this tail looks. It's like it stepped directly out of the original TV show. For comparison's sake, I have the original Dragonzord right here, and you can see it's like night and day difference. The new one stands a lot taller than the original one. The original one is just fatter. It's kind of like a brick, and you can see the tail just really doesn't do much other than jet out and has a little bit of bend right here. So yeah, this guy is... I just like him so much. He does have a few little accessories for when he's in his Dragonzord mode right here. He comes with these little extra hands. If you remember seeing the old TV show, these are the hands for when he was like, they'd spin around. At least I think they spun around. Maybe I'm getting him confused with Mechagodzilla. After all, he does pay a lot of homages to Godzilla and Mechagodzilla. But yeah, this is where he would shoot the missiles out at the bad guys. But he comes with these two extra little hands for like just kind of an arrest state. You could easily just pop these off and just pop these ones on for however you want to display them. However, I think I'm going to have him in his straight hand mode just because it's easier when you want to transform him. These hands don't really kind of slide into these slots all that well. I mean, there's not really much else to say. Oh, I should also talk about the bottom of his feet too. You get the nice Z pattern right there on here as opposed to the original American Dragonzord that just had the Thunderbolt. So it's just a lot nicer to have that. I remember in the old show, the Megazord would hit the feet, and then the giant Z energy ball would come out and destroy the enemies for when he was in the Ultra Megazord. I think that's the right name. I'm getting the names confused. It's been a while. Well, without much else to say about him in this current state, let's combine him with some of the Megazord parts. Alright, now to transform the Dragonzord into the Mega Dragonzord is actually pretty simple. We're going to start off by popping his tail right off like this, and then we're going to need to separate his legs to get that chest piece out of there. It's a really tight joint. There we go. We're going to just snap these back together. There's a little hinge right here with a little peg on it. I hope that comes across on camera. That snaps right in here into this little socket right here. This actually can fold back up and in for when you want to combine them with the Megazord, but we're not going to be doing that just yet. All right, going to snap these back together. Next, I'm going to take his arms and then fold them up and inside his shoulders right here so that we can actually take the chest and move it together. Form that nice cool chest crest that you see on his knees right here, the Dragonzord symbol right here on his chest. And might as well move his head down like so and move his tail fin all the way back so it can actually support the head so it's not flopping all the way back around. Next, we're going to move his legs down so that they're completely straight out. Move his knees just a little bit so you can pull these panels
up. And get this leg all the way up in here. Now they're going to want to fall forward sometimes just because of how heavy they are, but they won't do that once you get them actually into the Mega Dragonzord mode. Alright, just going to fold these up. Next we're going to take the saber-tooth tiger, snap it right onto this little socket back here. Do the same thing with the Triceratops. There you go, now he has his legs. Then we're going to take the mastodon. I'm going to move this up like here. Now he doesn't actually have any sockets on the back right here for the mastodon to peg into, but the sides can peg right onto this right here. So we're just going to put that here. Snap that in the side right here. Snap that in the side right there. There you go. And for just added measure, you have a little hinge right here with a little socket that fits right here on the back of the mastodon if you want to pop that into place to give it a little bit extra security. I'm not going to do that just because it is kind of a pain in the butt to get that off once you do have it on there. So because I'm going to be transforming this guy later, I'm just going to leave it how it is. Now, he does look impressive right now. I mean, he has a nice amount of die cast still on him, especially with the mastodon and the triceratops, and he still has a good weight to him as well. And he's very, very tall and impressive, but he'd be a lot more impressive with his actual weapon. So let's get that too. We're going to start off by taking the tail and just taking those ball joints and then just kind of accordioning them or sliding them into each other so the tail becomes a straight long drill. Then we're going to take his chest plate and move that all the way back. It kind of just pops right out right there. He comes with this little stand too, just like the original one did, so you can actually peg it right here at the bottom. And then you can take the drill, snap that right into the little hole that's up there. It's kind of a nice tight fit, and then you can take this little panel that folds right off, and he has a little handle for him to hold the drill. Unlike the original one that had a handle that came curved off right here and barely held in his hand or barely held together when you were playing with this guy. This guy actually has a nice handle right here that fits into his hand. It makes it feel more like, yeah, he can actually really drill into some of the bad guys. And seeing how tall his weapon is compared to him, it's like, yeah, that really towers over even him. Yeah, he looks a lot cooler with even the drill in his hand. Still, even if I move my camera all the way back, that drill is like super tall for the camera. He is a very cool, impressive figure just on his own, especially with the Megazord parts right here. However, if you're like me, you really want to see this guy combined with the Megazord. I mean, that was its ultimate form, or one of its ultimate forms. We'll get into that, its super ultimate form next week. But next up, let's actually combine him with the Megazord. Alright, now to combine the Megazord with the Dragonzord to form the Ultra Megazord, I think that's the right name, it's been a long time since I last looked. We're going to move the shoulders down like so, and then take the head crest and flip those all the way back. Just get him ready and put him off to the side right here. Next, we're going to take the Dragonzord and make sure the head is all the way up and the arms are folded in like before, and we're going to actually separate these. I've already gone ahead and taken that little tab right here and slid it back here so it's out of the way. Next, we're going to want to take these little shoulder pegs right here, or these little clamps that are going to fit onto the Megazord itself to actually kind of clasp onto his shoulders. Now, I've had a little bit of trouble getting this particular piece on him. I think it's just because of the weight, and it's a kind of a narrow fit right in here, especially with all this little extra hooks and ridges right here. It's a little difficult. Alright, so we're going to just slide that here. Hopefully I can do this right. I'll get that tail out of the way. Because you want to get it to where these parts right here just slide right. Everything's supposed to slide in just perfectly, and it's kind of hard to get on there. Especially with how heavy this guy is. There we go. You want to have those parts just snapped right above or right on the outside of that. It's kind of tough. You always feel like you're going to break it. Next, we're going to take those little panels, remove them back down, and have those snap right here. You can see a little bit of a ridge right in there. It's going to snap right in there. Next, to hold it in place. There you go, and then we're going to take the legs, move those up. I hope they stay in place this time. They want to actually slide down just because of how heavy they are, so that's kind of a bit of a bummer. I don't know of any other way to actually get them to stay into place. Is there anything? Nope, there's the little panel in there that just loosely holds it into place. You can see there's a little extra piece of plastic right there, so you're going to have to kind of make sure that that stays right there, and the sheer weight of them are actually going to keep it in place. And there you go, you have the Ultra Mega Dragonzord. I think that's the right name. Now he is a little bit top heavy, and that gives a little bit of extra strain on the knees of the Megazord, but luckily they decided to, or included these little extra little plastic panels to slide right in here to keep him from wanting to fall over too much, and it gives just a little bit of extra strength. Oh, I should say, this is, remember how I said that there's a little panel right here to slide in the back of the Mastodon? This is also another instance where you maybe want to snap that in there just to give it a little bit of extra security, and the tail can fold up right up there. Altogether, this guy is starting to get very, very heavy with all the die cast on him. I'm surprised that these legs are actually able to support it, and I can see why the knees would really want to give out. Now, in the original cartoon show, or the original Japanese footage, these actually would snap on with the legs right here, but because of that, it's... dang it. There we go. But because of how this is kind of made, it's not enough clearance for it to actually be attached to the underside of the legs right here. These parts aren't just wide enough. Also, there's no way to attach the tail to the other side right here. So that is kind of a bummer. You can't make it super show accurate, but you can, or Japanese show accurate, but you can make it American accurate. I guess that's sort of a trade-off. All in all, together, these guys are pretty dang impressive. But you know what would make it even more impressive? Tune in next week when we take a look at Titanus. Once again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you've seen today, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, or leave a comment below in the comment section. Any advice for the show will be greatly appreciated. Who knows, something you suggest may appear on the show in the future.